This is Sagas.
So I have this special occasion to talk with you. If you'd like to just quickly tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name's Liam Phelan. I play guitar and sing in quotation marks in Svalbard.
Yes, very cool guest to have. Thank you again for letting me talk with you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So I want to talk obviously with you today about the album The Weight of the Mask.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I've been studying that album the past few days since getting ready for this interview. And the first thing I want to ask you is, getting ready for this album, what was the mindset of the band going into this album in the early stages, in the rough draft? What was the mindset? What kind of album did you guys want to deliver to the fans?
I think for this album, we felt a little bit of pressure because we'd signed to Nuclear Blast. Obviously like a big step up for us. We were, on like a UK label before that, and kind of some other labels around the world. This was the first time we, were on like a real big label that we'd admired since we were like teenagers. So we felt that pressure a little bit. But we never go into writing an album with a conscious effort to make it sound a certain way. It's very much just kind of free flowing. If we like what comes out, that's what goes in. And I think me and Serena work really well guitar wise. We play off each other really well. I think we have different ways of thinking about the guitar, but the way it intertwines makes for a nice result that I think we're all very happy with.
Yeah. So I know this, like obviously this album is 9 tracks long. It is just over 44 minutes. Was there any other songs that were left off this album? Or was this a set list way before releasing it? What was the goal with the songs?
We generally, I don't think we've ever written an album when we've had songs left over, and we've only ever done 8-song albums before this. This is our first 9-song album. I think we just kind of write to the point that we're happy, and then if we don't like anything, we don't keep it. We don't kind of keep a lot of songs around. If we don't like it, we just don't like it. If we keep it, we like it, so it's going to go on the album basically. So I don't think we've ever had a song left over, which is quite strange because a lot of bands do, don't they? So
yeah. Well, that just makes it even more special in my opinion, that these were that for every album you guys make, the songs on the list of the songs are the only songs there. Pretty cool. And when I was listening to it, the vibe that I felt, because I felt from track 1 to track 4 was a lot more heavier than Lights Out and track 9. I felt like there was a bit of a switch for me, because I felt like from Lights Out you get the more emotional, the more moody, the more kind of not softer, but the more like like kind of a mellower aesthetic to the album. Was that intentional, or was that just me?
I think it's just a case of we went through a couple of different playlists, versions of the album, and that's the one we all settled on in the end, where we just wanted it to be hard hitting at the beginning, and then kind of let the more emotional songs breathe a little bit, from the sort of halfway point.
Yeah, because like for me, it was, I could definitely tell, especially lyrically, because on the song Lights Out, I think it was, where it's like, I'm too depressed to speak of my depression.
Yeah, basically. That's the theme of it, is being at a point where you're just so depressed you can't even vocalize how you feel. Serena really looked inward on this album more so than the last one, I think, and especially since COVID and stuff, it's obviously made mental health more of a talking point. So I think it's good to vocalize and encourage discussion on it. It's, if we can do that through the music, that's fantastic, I think.
Yeah. Were these feeling like, so the heaviness of the lyrics, are these emotions that you guys felt as a whole, or just used as a talking point?
I mean, what do we feel it, or is that what you mean?
Like,
the
depression, talking about? Is that actual real feelings you guys have while making the album?
I mean, Serena's definitely been through some points where she's been very low. I think we all have. It's something that every human will deal with at some point in some capacity in their lives, whether it be a personal affliction or someone you love or someone you know going through it. It touches us all, so it's an important topic, I think. And there's points where I think we've been at opposite ends. So when we did the last album, I think I was at my happiest point that I've been for a long time, and Serena was at her lowest point. So it was almost like a conflict of emotions coming out in that record, and I think this one's just an extension of that. We all feel, conflicting stuff all the time. So
yeah. For you personally, with the 9 songs on this album, what was the hardest song for you to record, and why?
There was a song where I can't remember which one it was now. I guess because I play all the the rhythm parts, I do all the kind of back end bit of the guitar, all the structures and everything. Lewis, the guy, our producer, is particularly hard on me for some reason. And there was one song where I was trying to record a bit, and I was like, I think I got it then. I think I got it. And he turned around and he was like, "Do you just want to go home?" What do you mean? Because you're playing like shit. Leave me alone. That was a good take. I can't remember which song. I think I've decided to blank it from my memory just to, so I can listen to the album again and not be upset.
It must be tough being in the studio. How long overall did you guys spend in the studio to make this album?
I think this one was 20 days, I think.
20 days.
Yeah, so generally we do it. So me and Mark go down, record the drums. I do guitar. Then I'll do my guitar bits and the bass, and then Serena will do. Serena comes in. Everyone kind of comes in and out of the studio as we're doing it. But I like to be there for the whole thing. It's quite nice. It's on the south coast of the UK. I take my bike with me. I can go cycling around the New Forest in the morning. Then come in, feeling good, refreshed, ready to be shouted at by Lewis and being told I'm crap at guitar. So,
I'm curious. You guys as the band, or you or anyone in the band, do you guys have any pre-album traditions or anything you guys have to do before making a new song, a new album, a new single? Is anything? Yeah.
No. It's the short answer. I think it's more. It's like a feeling when you finish the song. I can't quite describe it. You go through kind of amendments and changing and chopping parts of the song, and then there's suddenly a point where everyone's just like, "Yes, that's it." I think it's maybe that's the ritual where we all agree that something's finished and it's completed, and we're all happy with it. That's the point. I think we all have to be happy and feel like the song's complete before we can sign it off.
Yeah.
Because no strange rituals or anything. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because sometimes you hear bands that like something small, like they need to have a cigarette before performing, or they need to do something before. Yeah, but I guess you guys.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. If I guess right all the riffs and put the songs together would be our ritual.
Yeah, fair enough. Nice and precise. Yeah. I like it. I'm curious, how far? So, do you guys find it a hard process to come up with the track list names? Is it, or is that like a last minute throwaway thing you just think of?
Serena usually comes up with the names, and most of them are decided on beforehand, and it's always decided by the time we finish in the studio. So we'll come out and everything will be done. It depends on how far in advance she's written the lyrics for the songs. Sorry, a little tickly cough. I think generally everything was sorted out for this album beforehand. think most of them had names. Sometimes we have the working names, and then the finished names. So when we come to play them live after we've recorded, we'll still refer to it as, song 3 or the song with the tremolo bit or something like that. It'll have like a stupid name, and then we have to relearn all the names for the songs with the actual names.
Have you guys, so since this album has been released, which wasn't that far ago, only last year, October, but have you guys performed this album like live, the whole album? Do you guys do that?
No, we haven't. We did it once with the last album for there's a festival in the UK called Damnation, and they do like a pre-festival night called Night of Salvation, and we did it for the first one back after COVID. That was the only time we've ever done an album in full. I feel like sometimes some of the songs don't work we don't feel like they work as well live as they do on record, especially with some of the kind of more mellower moments of our repertoire.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's just because like I've always been intrigued at bands that play like the whole set live, because you listen to it as an album, a full album, so to hear it live would be just a magical thing, I think.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of respect after trying to do it ourselves. So I have a lot of respect for bands who can do it, because I don't always feel like every song is made for a live environment. But I guess some bands are just better than us.
Yeah. Well, if you ever do, hopefully I can be there to witness it. That'd be cool. So I spoke about earlier what was the hardest. Do you guys, was there a song on this album that was just absolutely seamless and easy to make on your part?
Ooh, trying to think. I think Lights Out was pretty fell together pretty easily. Faking It went for a few. I think Faking It took a little bit of time to really nail down. Yeah, Lights Out, Eternal Spirits came together pretty quickly. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I feel like if we ever meet a wall that's kind of quite hard to get past, I think we scrap it usually. So if it's something, if we can feel like there's some merit in most of what's there, and it just feels like it's a couple of tweaks, then it's good. If it's something, I remember one song we wrote which I really like, and we got sort of about 2 minutes in, and they're just kind of like we didn't know where to go with it at all. Every time we played it, and we're doing it for like 6 months, we're just like, let's just get rid of it. It's not happening. So that's the only time that's happened. But yeah.
There you go. Have you ever had a moment? It could be on this album, could be on any album prior, where you've had an idea and you've played something, but then you forgot to record it. You're like, fuck. You lost the idea.
On our first album, sorry, I don't know where this cough's come from. It's just suddenly started.
That's okay.
On the first album, there's on the song Disparity, there's a little lead about a minute and a half in, which I play. It's like a little kind of high up chord section. And we'd finished recording everything else. Everyone else had gone home. I just finished doing my vocals. It's like, cool. I put my train back. Let's go. Can I get lifted to the train station? Yeah, sure, no problem. Start packing everything down. Fuck! We've packed away all the guitar stuff, all the amps are gone. And Lewis is just like, you're an idiot again. So then we just had to do like a plug-in thing and just record it really quickly there. Stick it on the album. But I think that's the only moment where I think after that learning experience, I've been a bit more careful about making sure everything's been recorded.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I would have been so good if we'd released the album and it wasn't on there. I know it's only a small bit, but I'd always notice that. So I'm glad we did it in the final 30 seconds of time I had.
I'm just imagining the next time you guys meet up, you're like, oh, I had this really cool idea. It was life changing, and they're like, I bet you did, but you didn't record. That's a moment no one wants to go through.
Yeah.
Which kind of, thinking about it, this being your fourth album, from the first to this one, learning experiences, what do you think you've learned, or how do you think you've grown as an artist since the first album, or since the whole time you've been in the industry?
I think songwriting, like kind of structures and understanding the flow of a song. I think it's something I feel like I've gotten better at through the years. Definitely. When I go back and listen to, bands I did when I was like 20, and I'm like, oh, what did you do that for? But yeah, so I think it's it's all just a learning experience, isn't it? So we're at a point now where I feel pretty confident. If I feel a song's done, then I feel like it's got a good flow and a good structure and works, So I think songwriting and structuring is definitely probably the biggest thing I've taken away.
If you had to, in your words, if you had the opportunity to sit down and talk with an up and coming band who's trying to make it in the industry, what kind of pointers would you give to them?
Just focus on all the fun stuff. There's going to be a lot of back end things that have to be done. Finances can become stressful, especially when you start. Especially now, I don't. We were lucky that we started before Britain decided to shoot itself in the head and remove itself from the EU. And now everything's so expensive, we can't take merch across a sea anymore. So we have to get merch printed in Europe. It's more expensive. We have to drive somewhere to pick it up. So things like that. So if you're starting off as a band, I think it must be so much more difficult. So yeah, just focus on all the all the things you love about it. Don't let anyone put you down or try and tell you to stop or anything like that. If you love it, just do it. Enjoy playing live, because that's where the the real fun is. And touring, just sitting in the van driving for hours, going to different countries, meeting different people. It's incredible. It's incredible. I have so many precious memories now from doing this for such a long time that I would never have experienced if it wasn't for music. So I'm very, very thankful that I persevered. My parents were always, when are you going to get a real job? That sort of thing. And it's only now, like 20 years later, they're like, I can see some merit in what you do. Thanks. So don't listen to the haters, and just enjoy it. That's the main thing. Just enjoy it.
Fuck yeah. Do you have an iconic or a funny or a memorable touring story that you can tell us?
I got asked this question the other day and I drew a complete blank. Then as soon as the conversation finished, I remember this one time just before COVID. So we were really busy. We did a tour with Victims. We did a tour with Envy. Then we recorded the previous album. Then we went to Oslo and played a festival in Oslo, and then COVID hit. But at the festival in Oslo, we flew over. We take over, some bits like guitars and some drum bits and everything. Start setting up for our sound check. Our drummer gets everything set up. We've got about 20 minutes until we're going to play. And he goes, I didn't bring any drumsticks. And I was like, what? I don't have any drumsticks. And I was like, fuck. Sound guy, do you think anyone's going to have any drumsticks here? No. Right, okay, fantastic. So I just ran out into the street, and there's other bands playing in different venues because it's like a big sort of multi-venue festival thing. I was running up to bands being like, do you have any 5B Vic Firths? I'm really sorry, I'll give you some money. And a lovely band who didn't tell me who they were, because I was frantically running around like a headless chicken, just gave me some, and I was like, thank you so much, run back in. have about 5 seconds to set myself up now. Give him the drumsticks. You're an idiot. Play the show. Everything's fine. And then COVID hit, and then everyone was at home for a year and a half. That was a good way to go into it.
Yeah, running around like a headless chicken right before COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now
My last show before it. Luckily, the first show back afterwards was amazing, so that's fine. That made up for it.
there you go. What a story, huh? What a story. So I'm curious, where does the band go from here? Do you guys have any concrete ideas already since this album, or are you guys still in the drawing board phase?
Drawing board phase for new music. I think we have some riffs floating around, done a few little bits of jamming, but nothing concrete. No songs concrete yet. I think we're just going to concentrate on the Enslaved tour we're doing starting next week. Then we'll probably start writing after that during the summer when we're just doing festivals. And then we have another month-long European tour at the end of the year, which hasn't been announced yet. So yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, looking forward to getting cracking as well on some new stuff.
Nice. Well, obviously we'll all be excited to hear it. And if you guys ever come to Australia, specifically Melbourne, you have to let me know and I can come see you guys.
Yeah, we are playing in Melbourne.
You are?
In May.
May, that's good. That's not long. That's a few months away. I'll have to see you then.
Oh, it's the day before my birthday as well. So we're doing Perth. Oh, I haven't got the dates in front of me. You're on my phone, so I can't check them. Yeah, we're doing 4 dates in Australia with Japan just beforehand. Finishing in Melbourne on the 26th. It's my birthday on the 27th, so I'm going to stick around for a few days and enjoy all the vegan food and beer that Melbourne can give me.
There you go. Well, actually, I am a sushi chef by trade, and I'll bring you some vegan sushi.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
that'd be lovely. Yeah. Get our email off John and we'll set it up.
Definitely. I did it with have you heard of the band Tyr? Tyr? The
No.
Norse metal band. Oh. Well, they came to Melbourne and I brought them sushi too. For them.
Okay, very nice. That'd be amazing. Thanks for the offer.
Vegan and the rest of the crew, whatever they like. I'll eat. Yeah, I can definitely hook you up with the dinner for the Melbourne show. That's a plan.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. That's really kind.
Now it'll be a pleasure. But no, it's very exciting. Lots of touring. Obviously, everyone's excited for the new album. This album's amazing. So far, you guys are on a good roll. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future with you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really excited as well. I'm really looking forward to this year. Lots of touring and meeting lots of nice people and drinking lots of nice beer and cider and eating lots of food.
Yes, I love food as well, so I completely understand your appetite. The best part of life, I think. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been really fun.
Yeah, it's been fun of mine too, and I'll definitely get the email of John, and I'll be able to see you in May.
Cool. All right, see you then. Lovely to meet you.
Have a good one.